From the most trusted names in local news, KDPG Sunday Edition.
Good morning and welcome to the KDPG Sunday Edition. I'm Stacy Smith. There was some good news to report from the City of Pittsburgh Departments of Public Safety and Police about the battle against violent crime. The City of Pittsburgh saw a drop on homicides last year from 58 in 2017 to 55 last year. There were 114 non-fatal shootings in the city, which is down from 140 in 2017. The number of calls to 911 for shots fired was down by 14%. And at the same time, police report a spike in the success rate in solving cases from 48% to 71%. Rick Dayton has a closer look at the reasons for this progress.
Mayor Bill Peduto says the latest numbers are another move in the right direction.
Since 2014, every year we have now seen a decrease in the number of homicides that have occurred in this city.
11 of the victims were killed at the Tree of Life Synagogue. That's a whopping 20% of the annual total. City officials cite several reasons. Non-fatal shootings were down 19%, while homicide clearance rates jumped to 71%.
Our staffing levels have increased dramatically over the last several years, allowing more officers to be on the street.
ShotSpotter's system has grown from 3 square miles to 18. Soon, there will be more than 400 surveillance cameras providing vital clues to investigators. But much of the credit goes to a dramatic improvement in relationships between police and the people they serve.
I want the credit to go to the community because those have been the individuals who have met us at our level and who has continued to give us information to help us to solve our crimes.
And that's how we're starting to get more cooperation, and now we're seeing success in some of our clearance rates.
While these numbers are encouraging, Chief Scott Schubert knows much work remains.
We are committed, the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police, to ensure we aggressively investigate each and every homicide and shooting to find those responsible and take them off of the street.
Rick Dayton, KDKA News.
This morning on the KDPG Sunday Edition, fighting violent crime in the city of Pittsburgh and how a combination of community policing and improved technology are making a difference. Later in this program, you will hear the thoughts of Commander Victor Joseph of the Major Crimes Unit of the Pittsburgh Police Department and Reverend Cornell Jones, who is the coordinator of the Gun Violence Intervention Unit of the Pittsburgh Police. At this moment, we welcome back Wendell Hisrich, the Director of Public Safety for the City of Pittsburgh's Bureau of Public Safety, and Scott Schubert, the Chief of Police for the City of Pittsburgh. Sally Stapleton, the Managing Editor of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, joins us for this morning. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being with us again on the KDPG Sunday Edition. Some congratulations are in order for seeing a decrease in some of these. And I know you cannot speak much about the Tree of Life shooting because it's an ongoing investigation and we have yet to go to trial on that. But these numbers would be even down more significantly. The report pointed out if we didn't have those 11 deaths at that point. Is this an aberration of what's going on? I know the mayor says that homicide's been going down each year, but that would have been even a dramatic decrease this year, wouldn't it have been?
Yes, we owe it a lot to the community outreach, between officers and the public helping us out. We're out in the public, the police officers are out in the public, the community resource officers, neighborhood resource officers, which are basically a steady, similar face every day, the same police officer they see day in and day out. And the police officers are gaining the trust of the public. We've opened substations both downtown and Northview Heights, which is helping out, but the great work that the chiefs officers are doing out there day to day as far as the community outreach and the public helping out. And as you mentioned, technology is just supporting the work of the officers and the public.
I want to get into how your interaction with the community can make a difference in just a moment, but you did bring up the technology side. And Chief, explain, if you can, briefly, the ShotSpotter system. Is this a camera or is it just sound?
So it's sound-based, but there's cameras that go with it. But the ShotSpotter, when it's detected, it will give you a geographical area, small area of where it's coming from. So in the past, when we would get 911 calls for shots, we didn't know exactly where it was at. This has given our officers intelligence, one, to keep them safe so they can tactically approach the situation, and for us to be able to find evidence that occurred. And we found victims that we were able to save with our EMS. We have the greatest EMS in the country, but to find people that nobody called about. So it's a great technology.
And it's able to discern a shot from some other kind of
Absolutely.
noise.
It can tell you exactly what it is. It differentiates between a car backfiring, fireworks, or anything like that. It's a shot.
All right, now once you get that, it alerts, I presume, one of your offices, one of your, I guess office is the best way to say it at this point. And then so you have these located at certain locations you've already figured out is the best place to put these, and are you going to put more shot spotter systems in?
What we did was, ShotSpotter was originally Zone 5, but over the last 3 years, between 2014 and 2017, we took all the statistics as to where shots fired reports were taken, as well as the homicides, as well as the non-fatal shootings, and we basically drew a perimeter around that area, and that's where we positioned the ShotSpotter system for the additional 15 square miles that we added to the city of Pittsburgh. In addition, we're adding approximately 200 to 250 cameras. We're currently at 368 cameras, and we're going up to 450 cameras throughout the city, which will be integrated with the ShotSpotter system so that when there's an activation, those cameras will automatically move to where the shot was fired.
Now, technology can only do so much. Technology is not necessarily going to bring down your homicide rate, I would guess. It helps you solve the crime, perhaps, but it doesn't necessarily bring down the rate. You mentioned that community interaction is a major part of this, that you feel the reason that the homicide rate is coming down, and also that you're able to solve the crimes. Am I on the right?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we have to have that relationship with the community where they trust us, and that we have that partnership, that we're in this together, because there's no way we can do this by ourselves, and there's no way the community can do it by themselves. So the more engagement we can have with them, the more that we build the legitimacy, the more that we build that relationship. People feel more comfortable to talk to us and give us more information, because we're in it together, and we want all of our communities to be safe. Nobody wants their children to be afraid of walking around and getting shot. Have you
felt that there has been a dramatic change in that relationship? I mean, because it was not that long ago that in certain communities, you were called a snitch if you talked to the police and all this sort of thing. Has that changed?
I think it has, but I mean, I will say there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. But I think that the fact that we're committed to it, I think the community is seeing that, and I think where there was some skepticism on it, they're seeing, okay, they're really genuine. They really want to do this. I think that's helping to build more and more relationships, and I think that's going to help with us even doing better things down the road.
Within the homicide rate, there is a percentage that is classified as hate crimes. 2018 may be known in Pittsburgh for hate crimes. Not only Tree of Life, and I'm sure I'm not naming all of them, but there was the other one very public in North Shore. Can you talk about the difficulties of that, and if social media is something that you all are looking at before rather than after?
You want to?
You start, Chief.
I was going to say, yeah, we do look at social media. I mean, it's something that we're committed to, and I think it's something that we're actually ahead of other departments in this area, where we look at ethnic intimidation and hate crimes. Obviously, probably laws need to change in the state to be a little bit more for us compared to the federal side. But we look at it. We look at social media. Really, what we need is to make sure people report. That's a key. There's incidents that occur that people don't report.
What if you see something on social media? What can you do at that point?
Call 911.
No, I'm talking about you as in the Department of Public Safety or police.
Well, Chief,
same thing. I mean, we look at stuff. We pull it up. We look at.
You can't arrest them just because they...
Well, it depends on what they do on social media. There have been people that have been arrested for what they post on social media, where it's threats towards other people and things like that. So we do look at it. We look at the, I don't give everything we do, but we take an active look at it to see how we can stop it from reoccurring or somebody taking action.
But we also, as you mentioned there, if someone sees something on social media that looks threatening, they should call 911. We have a very good working relationship with our federal partners. We're talking to them on a daily basis, and needless to say, if they see a threat somewhere in Pittsburgh area, they notify us immediately, and the same, because sometimes a lot of the threats don't originate in Pittsburgh. They may be targeted to Pittsburgh, and at that point we utilized our federal partners to go out and conduct investigations outside the Pittsburgh area.
Have we seen a decrease in the number of gang-related shootings in the city of Pittsburgh? And if so, why?
I believe so. I don't want to take, because I know you're going to be talking to Cornell and him, but the work that they're doing, the community, those who are involved, trying to offer them help, try to get them out of that lifestyle, going to the hospitals, going to their homes. I think all of that stuff is helping, and people are seeing that. But I believe we've seen a decrease in that.
One other question before we have to go here, and that is, you said that the community is now seeming to know that they can trust the police a little bit more than they did before. You've got the same officers patrolling the same area. Has there been a change in the attitude within the department itself in relations with the community?
I think there has. As I said, it's something it's always moving. It's moving parts. But I think they get the same thing that the community gets when they have that chance to interact with the officer, and that's always been our goal. Don't look at the badge, don't look at the patch, look at the person. And on the same side for us, don't look at them as a victim, don't look at them as an actor, look at them as a person. And I think when we do that, you build that relationship, you build the trust.
I have to go with in this area, and perhaps too briefly, but we saw in the response to the Tree of Life shooting, and that is the firefighters and the EMS. You've already pointed out that the EMS is one of the best in the country. Can you speak to that a little bit, Director?
Well, when I came to the city 3 years ago, my goal was to integrate police, fire, and EMS, not to say that it wasn't already integrated, but to solidify that integration. I mean, as the chief mentioned, the ShotSpotter system, when a police officer receives an alert, there have been numerous lives saved by the Tourniquets Stop the Bleed program, by the first responder program, whether it be the police officers, by the firefighters. The Tree of Life was a perfect example as to the integration of public safety. We had paramedics in there with the SWAT team members. We have paramedics specially trained to go and work day to day with the tactical units throughout the city. So it's a help each other. It's one whole public safety approach to any type of incident, whether it be an active shooter situation or an active threat situation to a hazmat situation to any type of weather emergency.
Director, Chief, thanks so much for being with us this morning on the KDPG Sunday Edition. And when we continue, we'll be joined by Commander Victor Joseph from the Pittsburgh Police Major Crimes Unit and Reverend Cornell Jones, Coordinator of the Pittsburgh Police Gun Violence Intervention Unit, or GVI. It's coming up.